Hello my Mercurial mercenaries. First of all, thanks for commenting on my previous video, if you did, where I asked if you still download music. We were talking about MP3s, but we expanded it to talk about downloading in general. I was comparing downloading to streaming. And it was a bit of an eye-opener, to be honest, because you guys have told me, in basic practical terms, you've told me that you still download music. It's difficult to know these things because I don't walk around the streets asking people that I meet, "Excuse me, sir, do you still download music? Or do you stream?" You know, I'm not a surveyor, a questionnaire, am I? So I didn't know. And I can only compare your lives to my life. And of course I don't know your lives, but my life is very much spent in the home streaming, subscriptions to Napster, which isn't the Napster like it used to be. You know, Napster now is just a corporate thing. Rhapsody, it's the same as Spotify. But okay, let's just say Spotify. Subscription to Spotify, where I can also, if I want to, download songs to my phone, but they're not really downloaded because if I stopped subscribing to Spotify, a bit of Spotify there. What was that, Jim? A bit of Spotify? A little bit of Spotify. If I stop subscribing to Spotify, suddenly those songs won't register anymore. So they're not true downloads. You don't own the music. You lease it. You license it. But whereas once upon a time when I was buying CDs, the notion of kind of renting music, like you rented videos, would have seemed odd. I want to own it. Now that I don't own anything, it all just floats through the air and you can have anything. Like, so I've got Netflix and I've got this and I've got that. So do you need to own music anymore? I suppose it's a whole separate question with separate answers. But I am very much into the streaming thing. Look, you guys in your comments gave me a lot of negatives to do with not owning music anymore and streaming and stuff. But there are positives. I mean, if I hear of good music, someone says it to me, I see it on the internet, whatever, I can listen to it immediately. I've got access to pretty much everything. So there are positives as well as negatives to streaming. But you guys have made it quite clear that you still download. And that's good to know because, well, we'll move on to that. But, right, put an edit there because I forgot what I was going to say. I'm doing that. What am I doing that for? Hang on. Someone accused me today of pacing like a caged baboon. A baboon. Any animal in the animal kingdom, they could have said. But they chose baboon. A massive, shiny red arse. Perhaps that could be the cover of the debut Mercurial #6 album. Harry Styles, I noticed, on the cover of his album that's just been released, has a picture, I think it's of him in the bath, taken from above, looking down. Wonder who's photographing him in the bathtub. But my picture for my debut album could just be my Harris, could just be my arse. So it could be me. I could be looking over my shoulder as well, but just my big red, naked, shiny arse. Sort of strayed there a little bit. Edit that out for a start. What was I going to say? Think. Streaming. Talk a load of shit about streaming. Yeah. And then. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's good. Right. Edit it back in now. I'll tell you what. Don't edit it at all. Just leave it raw. Okay? Imagine that I'm Dolph Lundgren, right? In any film that he was in, I mean, I would say I'm almost his spitting image. Let's go for, do you know what? Let's go for the underrated. Is it underrated? No, it's not. It's probably overrated, only if anything. Let's go for Masters of the Universe, all right? Imagine that I'm Dolph Lundgren in Masters of the Universe. I should have gone for, why the fuck didn't I go for Rocky 4? I could have gone for Rocky 4. So, cut this out. So, don't say, why am I saying so? I'm going to leave all of this in. This is the sort of shit that you usually don't get. Yeah? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Who do you think you're talking to? Who are you looking at? So I was talking in my previous video about whether, so we're back in, see, it's fluid. And what happens there is I cut it. So all that shit about baboons and Dolph Lundgren is all gone. And we'll see how I feel when we come to editing. But, baboons, red, naked, arse. I spoke about whether you download or stream, right? And it dawned on me when I was replying to, as I was replying to a few of the comments, that it's not even really an argument for me because I don't bloody listen to any music anymore. I don't listen to any music. I come in, I switch YouTube on to see if any of my latest, the latest subscriber things, and I'm not even looking at the subscription list anymore because I do it on my phone. I stream it to the TV or from my phone. It defaults to the home page, and the homepage, the YouTube homepage, is now pretty good at picking up what I like to watch. So I've got it, I've just been, I don't know why I'm saying, See, one of the reasons I edit these videos so much is that I keep saying, and you don't know anything yet because I haven't told you. People who say, which is me, but people that say, all the time, Fucking dicks. Wait a minute. Lost my train of thought there. Fuck it, this is all staying in now. This is all staying in. So, I go onto the homepage, and today I've just watched loads of Harry Styles, and he's the guy out of One Direction who's gone solo now. And he was presenting the Late Late Show. Bit my cheek there, but I'm going to carry on because I'm professional. He presented the Late Late Show, and I watched that. It was all right. I'm predetermined, whatever, to take a dislike to these boy band people, but I heard his debut single, Sign of the Times, not the Prince song, and it was on the radio, I think. I must have been in the car, right, because I don't listen to the radio, so I must have been in the car, because in the car, I couldn't have been in the car. I only listened to talk radio in the car. I must have been somewhere where the radio was playing. I was not in a baboon enclosure. Edit that out. Why would I be in a baboon enclosure? I've forgotten what to say. Oh, so I was listening to Sign of the Times, the Harry Styles single. And I thought, this is really good. This song's really good. And then it dawned on me as I'm listening to the song, because I'd heard that Harry Styles had released a song that everyone was saying was quite good. And I was listening to this song, it was really bombastic. That's fucking hell, Really bombastic. Very 70s-esque. It's not really a word. Queen style. And I thought, halfway through the song, I thought, this is going to be Harry Styles. I'm going to end up saying that I like a Harry Styles song. And what's wrong with that? Because I've said quite a few times in my videos that if you like One Direction, then you like One Direction. If you like to go in 2 directions, 3 directions, 4 these days, I don't know, 5, 6. Bill Ryan had an issue with, I think he wouldn't allow himself to like the 1975. When we did the, yeah, actually you do know. When we did the Mercury Music Prize thing, I quite liked the 1975's album, Will You Sleep With Me If I Come In Your Ear. I quite liked that album, but I didn't Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise felt a little bit embarrassed to say to Bill that I liked that album, because I knew that it's not right for someone like me who drinks decaffeinated coffee with almond milk, plays a Telecaster, likes to listen to occasionally slightly raucous music. It's not right for me to say I like a boy band, but saying all that, I can like boy band music. Back for Good by Take That is one of the greatest songs of all time. Now, that's going to cause a flourish of non-comments, because no one's going to get this far in this video because I'm not going to edit it. It's going to cause a non-flourish. But Back for Good, if you don't know who Take That are, which you probably won't because you're probably watching this in Japan or somewhere, Take That are a boy band over here in England that are quite very successful, right? So Google Back for Good by Take That. Great song. Kind of lost my train of thought there. Boy band songs. I mean, my favourite song of all time is The Sun Always Shines on TV by Aha! Google that. Google The Sun Always Shines on TV by Aha. Aha. Fantastic. So what's wrong with... I shouldn't feel embarrassed to like music that people would think I would despise. I bought Britney Spears albums. Albums, plural. When I was quite old. And it wasn't in a sexual way. I genuinely liked the songs, right? My point being, right, so I come in and I watch YouTube, and then there's things on Netflix I'm currently watching which I need to get through. Just watched the latest episode of Better Call Saul last night. Brilliant, fantastic series. People have said it's slow moving, but those people, the world doesn't need to spin so fast. The world doesn't need to spin so fast. Do you feel that sometimes the world is spinning out of control? And I'm watching all these things I've got those things to watch there. I've got to watch the Great British Menu at the moment, and Eggheads, and there's the new quiz show called Debatable, and they're all in a row on BBC Two. So starting at 6 o'clock, I have to watch Debatable, Celebrity Eggheads, because just Eggheads isn't good enough. They've got to be Celebrity Eggheads. And then I have to watch the Great British Menu. So that's hours of my evening taken up every day through that. And then I've got to watch all you guys on YouTube. Got to watch that. Just watched a pointless video where Chappers and the Captain had to decide whether it was active or passive pickups. I mean, you're really going to put an active and passive pickups in Rob Chapman's hands and think he's not going to know? Dear me. I mean, I watched it, but it was one of the less good... I love those comparison videos. Automatically, YouTube decided to put on after that the one where they did the comparison between the different strats. And Rabi gave them... I think he gave them a Japanese Strat, 2 customs, and a Squire. And the funny thing about that video, well, it's a much better video. If you haven't watched that one, go and watch it. It's brilliant. So if you haven't watched it, then just skip now. Skip. I'll keep it in though. Just skip forwards right now, right? The funniest part about that video, the funniest bit about that video is where they place the Squire Strat in Rob Chapman's hands after he's played a load of Custom Shop, and he goes, oh yeah, Custom Shop for the Squire. Changes his mind once the captain sort of has a little feel and goes, Rob, Squire, what's that? Squire, but that's not putting Rob Chapman down. If you blindfolded me and put different guitars in my hands, I wouldn't have a clue. Wouldn't have a clue. You put a bloody banjo in my hand. Not a clue. Not a clue. But I've got so much. And then when I do listen to, when I'm streaming, I'm either streaming a podcast, and it's usually about Columbo, because I'm obsessed with Columbo. I'm also listening to one now about Jonathan Creek. I am well into, well, Columbo's the greatest program of all time. Let's get that out there right now. Columbo is the greatest TV program of all time. Especially the 70s episodes, all right? The NBC, not the ABC. I'm going to leave it all in. All this shit that I would usually edit out, it's all staying in today. All of it. And then, if I am listening to music, it'll be an old Iron Maiden album that I'm streaming through Napster, Spotify, but I already own it upstairs. I don't know. So, I'm either watching Netflix, watching YouTube, listening to old music that I've listened to 100 million times before, listening to podcasts, eating, drinking this bloody stuff. I'm not going to die of caffeine poisoning. Did you hear that story? That was bizarre, wasn't it? Someone drank a cup of caffeinated coffee, something else, a Coke, and then an energy drink. All of those 3 drinks in 2 hours. And it caused a caffeine overdose. I've drunk, when I was in the Lake District, a few weeks ago, I was drinking like 12 full-on cups of Costa coffee a day. I'm buzzing with it. But there's no buzz anymore. There's no buzz. There's a lack of, what do you call a lack of buzz? I'm trying to think whether to do a Toy Story joke or a vibrator joke. I should edit that out. Between all of that, I don't listen to any music anymore. So why am I talking about downloading or streaming? My New Year's resolution this year is going to be to listen to watch as many new films, to listen to as much new music. It all kind of fell by the wayside a bit because when I get time, I like to listen to stuff that I know I'll like. The same reason as I watch an episode of Columbo a day, and I really do. I like to, if I had to put some music on now, I'm going to put on, right now, what would I put on right now? If I could just choose anything right now. I'll put Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden on right now. Why not? That's probably what I'd put on right now. No, I wouldn't actually. Do you know what I'd put on right now? I would put on the Iron Maiden album, No Prayer for the Dying, which is widely considered to be their worst. But I would like to re-listen to it and see if it's really as bad as I remember. Because the thing is, I only remember it being bad in hindsight. When I first bought it, I quite liked it. It's funny that. You just mould like water to fit the surface of the thing you're thinking. So, overall, my mercenaries, thanks for answering my question in my previous video. I do appreciate it. What it's made me realise is that I will indeed release my new single as a download. And I'm only hoping, I can only hope that some of you will want to hear it. I really hope you want to hear it. It's a double A side, I would call it. It's 2 songs I'm going to release. It's a single. I like to say it's a double A side, just like it's of the same quality of the Beatles' Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields double A side. All right? And it's going to be good. Well, I know it's good. But I think you may well have your own opinions of it. But hopefully you'll at least appreciate what I'm trying to do, because I think it will surprise you. I think it will really surprise you. And I have a film to go with it. I've been waiting to release it. I thought I'd wait till I had, first of all I said 300 subscribers. And then I realised that that might be trickier than I thought to achieve. So I then just put the whole thing on hold. I put the whole thing on hold. But I think I'm just going to explode it out into the world. Maybe I'll explode it into the world tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Yes. I should definitely edit this video, but I don't think I will. I'm going to put my single, my double A-side single, out into the world tomorrow night. Thank you for watching, my mercenaries. This was a very spur-of-the-moment video, and it's probably one that I shouldn't publish. What do you think? Publish or perish? Thank you, my Mercurial mercenaries. Over and